Question 11. Use division to write 3/16 as a decimal. Well, the fraction we've got is 3/16, and we've got to make sure that when we use the bus stop method, we put the numbers in the right place, the right way round. So the question is, which way round is it? Is it 16s into 3, or is it 3s into 16? Well, this 3/16 means 3 divided by 16. And the number you're dividing by always goes in front of the bus stop method. So this top version is the correct way, the bottom version is the incorrect way. We are going to do both just to see what happens if you do accidentally do it the wrong way around. So here we go. 16s into 3 won't go, so you put a 0 at the top. Because it won't go, because 16 is bigger than 3, then you haven't actually used the 3 yet. So you carry the 3 to the next column, but the next column is empty. So you fill the next column with a 0, the empty column with a 0. But you can't just really change the 3 into 30. It still needs to be worth 3. It's not 30/16, it was 3/16. So you need to put a decimal point in, so it's still worth 3/16. So you put a decimal point in there. 16s into 30 goes once, that's 16, with 14 left over. So you carry the 14. You can't put the 14 in an empty column, so you put a 0 to go with it. And now we've got something a bit tricky. We've got 16s into 140. Well, you could say start with 10/16s. So 10 lots of 16 is 160. So you could work backwards from there. So 9/16s would be 160 take away 16, which is going to be 144. And that is also too big. So 8/16s, knock another 16 off of 144. Well, 10 off would be 134, and another 6 would be 128. So that's going to be the one that we want. So 8/16s are 128. And then you have got 12 left over, so you carry the 12. And then you keep going. So 7/16s, if you knock another 16 off, is going to be 112. So 7/16s is 112 with 8 left over. So you carry the 8, but you can't put the 8 in an empty column, so you put a 0 to go with it. And that now leaves us with 80. And 16s into 80 goes exactly 5 times. So because we've finished there, it means it's a terminating decimal rather than a recurring decimal. Terminating decimal just means a decimal that does eventually come to a stop. Put your decimal point in, and there's your final answer, 0.1875. So if you had done the bottom version by accident, then this is what you would have done. You would have got 3s into 1 won't go, but you haven't used the 1, so carry the 1. 3s into 16 goes 5, that's 15, remainder 1. But you can't put the 1 in an empty column, so you'd put a 0 to fill the empty column. And you can't turn 16 into 160, still needs to be worth 16, so you put a decimal point. 3s into 10 goes 3, remainder 1. Can't put the 1 in an empty column, put a 0 to go with it. 3s into 10 goes 3, remainder 1. Can't put the 1 in an empty column, put a 0 to go with it. 3s into 10 goes 3, remainder 1. And you can see what's going to happen. It would always be 1 remainder with 3 up top, 1 remainder with 3 up top. So you would actually have ended up with 5.3 recurring. That would have carried on forever. Now, the thing is, let's just talk about why this has got to be an incorrect answer, wrong answer. Well, if you look back at the original question, it's 3/16. Well, 3/16, if you imagine eating a pizza, having a pizza with 16 slices, if you eat 3 out of the 16 slices, you've eaten less than the whole pizza. It's less than 1 whole. So your decimal equivalent should be less than 1 whole. And our actual answer of 0.1875, that is less than 1 whole. Whereas the answer over here, 0.1875 is the correct answer. 5.3 recurring, that is not less than 1 whole. In fact, that's bigger than not just 1 whole, it's bigger than 5 whole pizzas, because 5.3 would mean 5 whole pizzas. And that can't possibly be right, because 3/16 is less than 1 whole. So 0.1875 has got to be the correct answer.